Hi, my name is Patrick Aaron. I'm with Total Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning. My family's business has been installing geothermal systems in the tri-state area for nearly 3 decades. So I think people have really always understood that the economical benefits and the cost savings with geothermal have always been there. A common myth or concern is that my house or my property, my yard can't accommodate geothermal, but that's, for the most part, simply not true. Most yards can accommodate a geothermal system. It's usually only a matter of drilling a few 6-inch holes that are completely underground, never to be seen again. It's really your own private utility that's going to be there for the rest of your life. From an equipment standpoint, the indoor equipment is going to be a very similar footprint to what you already have. And another benefit is your outdoor unit goes away. So you no longer have an outdoor unit to see or hear or landscape around with a geothermal system. So really, every home, every property can accommodate geothermal with very few exceptions. So today I just want to talk a little bit about the incentives in the state of Maryland and how incredible they have become for a geothermal system. So for an example, today we'll use a standard house in the state, which would be a 3-ton system. A 3-ton system is going to handle your average size home, probably in the 1,500 to 2,000 square foot range. So this will be a turnkey installation for a geothermal system, meaning complete installation of ground loop, electrical work, permitting, equipment, labor. So for a home of that size, we'd be thinking somewhere in the $39,000 range. So your initial inclination is like, wow, that's a lot of money. That's 3 times the cost of a standard air source system. But with the incentives in Maryland now, you're going to find out how a $39,000 project very quickly becomes a $7,200 installation, which is cheaper than what you could get a traditional heat pump, gas furnace, oil furnace for. So using that $39,000 installation, right off the bat, you're going to get a 30% federal tax credit off the entire cost of the project. In addition to that, you're going to get a $7,200 instant rebate from the local utility company. You're going to get a $3,000 rebate from the state of Maryland. And then for the sake of our example, for that 3-ton system, if you're replacing an oil furnace or on a new construction project, you're going to get up to $3,300 per ton. So that's another $9,900 you could be getting off instantly off your project. Now that varies depending on the size of your system. If you're replacing a 5-ton system, you still get $3,300 a ton. But for our example, we're going to talk about a 3-ton system. So that $39,000 project, after all those incentives, is down to $7,200, 82% off the cost of an installation. GRECs are a big part of the equation here. So there's 2 different ways you could take advantage of the GRECs. So previously I mentioned the instant rebate option, where you're basically purchasing those up front, you're selling away the rights, but you're getting a very significant upfront rebate. The other option is to sell them annually over time. So in that scenario, you would receive quarterly or annual payments, which in the end may actually pay more, but you don't get the upfront incentive. So it gives you an opportunity from a return on investment standpoint to recoup them over time or get it all up front. So that option is yours as the homeowner to take advantage of the GRECs. So Maryland has a very specific, lucrative program to take advantage of these GRECs. With that being said, some of our neighboring states, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, also have GRECs available, but in a little bit different format, where you just receive $700 per ton. Still something, to help offset the additional upfront cost of a geothermal system. So I understand that threw a lot at you, and there's a lot of things to be thinking about, from incentives and upfront costs and environmental benefits, savings, but we're only a call or a click away. So please feel free to give us a call at 301-745-3700. or online at asktotalcomfort.com.